What up, guys? James from Bolt Bros here. Looks like Corey Linsley restructured his contract, almost basically just a pay cut, to be honest, to help out the Chargers in the long haul and especially help out specifically for 2024 for the salary cap. Great to see. Love to be able to see that he did that. And let's just give you kind of an update a little bit on the salary cap situation, too. So let's just go ahead and get into it, guys. Bolt Bros, let's go.
I'm Dale Henley. You watching the Bolt Bros podcast? Let's do it!
All right, guys. Once again, appreciate the love and support. Like this video, subscribe to this channel. Once again, I'm James from Bolt Bros, and let's just talk a little bit about this guy right here. Let's talk about Corey Linsley, man. What a solid he did for us. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things that are talking about him retiring and everything too, and I think the Chargers might be setting that up for his retirement. And basically what Corey Linsley pretty much did is say, hey, look, like, I'm not going to do you guys over and pretty much screw you guys on millions of dollars. What I'm going to do is just try to find a way to be able to help you this year to basically find ways to be able to help out with the salary cap. So kind of what he basically did is he restructured his contract of lower his base salary from 11.5 million to the minimum for 2024 season, which is the veteran minimum, which is about 3.7 million, I believe it is, 3.8 million. And so he really basically found a way to be able to create $10.29 million in cap space for now, which is roughly about almost $2.7 million more added to the salary cap if we just cut him. So it's actually really, really good that they did this. And you got to think at this point, Joe Ortiz, Jim Harbaugh, they're going to do the right moves to make sure you could create more cap space all around. I do think it's also Corey Linsley just being a very classy individual of just saying, hey, look, like, I'm probably going to retire and such. I'm going to walk away from the game. And, look, I'm not going to tell you got to pay me a ton of money kind of thing. But basically, he's helping us out all around. So with the restructure, it's essentially really more of just a decrease in salary. It carries a cap hit of $3.8 million for the 2024 season. If Lindsey retires after June 1st, then it will carry a $2.6 million dead cap hit for the 2025 season. So it kind of helps us not just for this season, but it could help us out for next season. Now, that is after June 1st if he officially retires, and they'll put him on that list. So basically what this really did is it just created $2.6 million in extra cap space for this team. Versus basically if we cut him, I think it'd be $8.9 million. So it just created a little bit more money for the Chargers. So all around, really good news. Love to be able to see that. It sucks to think about what's going on with Corey Linsley and potentially what's ahead of him. So sucks to see. It was such a great center all around. So moving forward, it's interesting to look at what's going on with the cap spaces for everybody in the NFL right now. I mean, I swear it seems like the Saints are always crazy $83 million over salary cap. I mean, you get the Dolphins at $51 million over the salary cap, almost $52 million. Bills $51 million. Chargers at $45 million before this move, and $24 million for the Broncos. So I mean, we're not in a great situation, but we're not in a horrible situation. I do think, once again, the salary cap is a little bit of a myth in a sense, so it can be manipulated and moved around. I did a video a while back about how to change the salary cap, how to be able to even get just a little bit over $40 million worth of salary cap to spend this upcoming season. So we could talk a little bit about that, and I'll give you a breakdown on that. But one thing I do want to just let you guys know is there's a little bit of news talking about that this year's salary cap might go up to $250 million versus it was initially going to be like $242 million. So there's a potential of $8 million will be added to this team. I'm assuming it'll probably be a little closer to probably $248 million or $247 million. Because essentially that would add about a 10% increase, which would be astronomical for the NFL to increase the salary cap to $250 million and a 10% increase. That would be insane. So either which way, you're looking at $5 to about $8 million potentially added to our deficit for salary cap. So who knows? We'll see where that goes. I mean, the one thing about the Corey Linsley situation, Joe Ortiz and Jim Harbaugh, there's an effect of having these guys. There's an effect to have this star-studded team all around. There's guys that are potentially might be retiring. Corey Linsley, it's pretty good chance that he will be retiring. He basically did a solid for the team and said, hey, look, I'm not trying to hurt you guys. I'm not trying to harm you guys. I'm going to probably walk away from the game. I don't want to make it harder on you. But we're creating a culture within this team, and a team that potentially could very much be a threat next year. And a lot of people in the NFL feel that very much of the Chargers have a great chance to be extremely competitive this upcoming season. So now it goes to the other guys that are the big cap space hitters for us next season. Joey Bosa, $36.6 million on a salary cap hit for us. Mike Williams, you got $32.46 million. Khalil Mack, $38 million, $38.5 million, I should say specifically. And then you could even just throw in Keenan Allen, $34.7 million. Would these players be more willing to essentially take a cheaper deal? Would Khalil Mack, Mike Williams, Joey Bosa be willing to be able to stay here within this Jim Harbaugh era and say, hey, look, I'll take a pay cut, just kind of in the same sense of like what Corey Linsley did. Just move my money around a little bit. I'll help out the salary cap all around. Now, if you think if we do get to that $250 million NFL salary cap situation, or just that extra $5 to like $8 million that's going to be out in the salary cap, that helps out a lot with all this, players with high salaries. It kind of balances out the game just a little bit for us to where we potentially could keep a Khalil Mack, which I would think would be an awesome move. It could also basically find ways to be able to get other players that we could sign into this team. So it's really, really interesting. And we'll get closer to probably free agency, possibly in the combine is kind of where they're going to talk more about the salary cap situation. So that's the fun part of this offseason, because we're going into that combine, that draft, and free agency type situation now. So it will be coming here shortly. So I did want to kind of give you guys a quick recap of the salary cap and how it stands at the moment. So with Corey Linsley, we were around $42 million over the cap. Now we're only $35 million over the cap. Just one move like that has made a big difference. Cutting him would have gave us an $8.9 million savings. Now we got about almost $10.6 million in savings to the salary cap. So it's been a good move for the Chargers to do that. Now I'm going to give kind of a quick scenario here. Once again, I did a whole breakdown of what we could do and how we could clear up space all around. I'm just going to give a quick scenario here. Nothing too crazy, but let's just say, I know I hear about Khalil Mack potentially getting traded. Let's just say we just end up trading him. And then we do that. That instantly goes from a $35.5 million salary cap situation to a $12.2 million situation. Crazy. So big drop just trading off Khalil Mack. Now, I wouldn't want to do that necessarily, but at the same side, you got to find ways to make money. And if you say, hey, the Jim Harbaugh effect is we could try to decrease your salary, would you be willing to do that, Khalil Mack, to have a chance to have a run late in your career? Some guys might be into that. How many millions do you need to be happy, guys? I mean, I'd be good with a couple million for sure. And then let's just say, and I'm going to give a quick idea here. Let's say we end up cutting Joey Bosa. I keep hearing rumors about that. I've always said for a very long time, what if he goes to the Niners? What if he stays in California and plays with his brother? Makes a lot of sense, right? Let's just say we end up cutting him. He ends up walking. He ends up going to the Niners. Now we're already $2.1 million over the salary cap. For our draft class, where we stand at the fifth pick, we probably need about $13 million of money to be able to sign our players. So we'll see where that goes. Keenan Allen, let me just go ahead and we're going to say he's going to stick with us. Let's extend him a year here. I'm not going to deal with 2025. I'm just going to move around a little base salary. Let's move over $10 million from his base salary. Keep it at 8.1 on base salary there. And let's just put some guaranteed money of $10 million right there. What does that basically do? It does help us out a little bit here in the salary cap. Now we're at $12 million in salary cap. So almost our free agency side of things is done. Let's just say Mike Williams. I think Mike Williams would be one of those guys that might want to take a little bit lower money. Let's just go ahead and say, let's just renegotiate his contract a little bit. Let's say, actually, let's not do that. I'm just going to say a simple cut for some reason. And reason being I'm doing that is, look at where we're at just for that cut. 32 million over the salary cap. That's just the moves without saying, let's go ahead and cut Eric Kendricks. Let's go ahead and renegotiate, Derwin James. Let's start just moving a little bit of base salary around. Let's move, say, 10 million over there to his 3.4 million guaranteed salary. So I'm just going to make that 13, transact. Boom. What does that do for us? We're at 48 million over the salary cap, guys. And now these are just some simple moves. And I'm not saying these are what are going to happen. These are just ways that you can manipulate the salary cap. But basically, let's go ahead and just undo this. Right now, we're not in a bad situation right now, guys. We're not in a bad situation. Right now, at this point, we're doing fine. I think we're in a good situation, not in a bad situation for the salary cap. We're basically about $35 million over the salary cap. It's a lot to work with at this point. I think Joe Ortiz, Jim Harbaugh are going to do a great job of making the right choices for players and how to renegotiate or how to extend or basically sell them on what this team is going to be next season. I'm sure a lot of these Chargers players would have loved to stay in LA. LA is a great place to live, especially you got millions. It's a great place to be able to live, good weather all the time. Now you got a coach that knows what he's doing. You have an all-star staff all around them. This is the Jim Harbaugh effect that's happening right now. This is the situation that could create a way to be able to have high-level talent come to the Chargers and do it at a lower dollar value, or even keep some of the players that we currently have at a lower salary and to be able to keep them around and keep talent here for a lower dollar value. So I do really feel that that's what's happening right now. The Corey Linsley move is a great move. We expect that there's going to be a lot more moves of renegotiation, extensions of contracts here very shortly. I think there's a lot more whispers within NFL teams right now that know and understand what the salary cap is going to be for 2024 season. So once again, guys, very excited about this offseason. Exciting times right now for the Chargers and all Chargers fans. So once again, guys, we'd love to be able to hear from you. Put some comments down below. Hit a like video or hit the thumbs up on the video, and also give us a sub too on our channel. We always appreciate you guys' support, love, and hearing from you. So once again, guys, James from Bolt Bros, let's go.